All right, neighbors, we did it. We are not in the garden. We are not in the farm. We are in my makeshift kitchen for the day, standing behind our glorious yield of crops. We have, just to go over, our lettuce kind of looks like a little spring mix there. We've got a fantastic plate of herbs. We've got our chives, we've got parsley, we've got a little basil, a little dill, a little sage. Next to that, we've got our green beans, tons and tons of green beans. This is great, gonna grow those. Next year for sure, we've got our eggplants, we've got our bell peppers that came on strong towards the end, we've got our little tiny baby carrots, and then we've got the trouble child, our tomatoes. Today we're going to be making shakshuka. I've never made shakshuka before, but I have eaten it a bunch. Along with that, we are going to do a little pan-seared salmon, and that salmon will be on top of kind of a green goddess chopped salad. So I feel like some of that citrus that I'm gonna throw on the salmon is gonna go really nice with kind of like that creamy dressing we're making. My version of green goddess, deal with it. And then we're just gonna let the green beans kind of sing for themselves. Just a simple kind of maybe flavor a little butter on there. And that is it. It should be enough to feed like 5-6 people. So I'm gonna spare you guys, skip all the boring parts of chopping, and then when it's time to come together, turn it back on and I'll show you guys a little bit of magic. Never made shakshuka, ate it a bunch. This should be interesting. The moment we've been waiting for. Let's get to it. All right, majority of the prep work is done, sliced and diced, finished with that. We've got our eggplant cubed up. Underneath is the tomato as well. I went ahead and left the skins on the tomatoes and the eggplants because I'm an adult and I could deal with it. We've got some bell pepper. Traditionally, I think they use red, but that's what we grew. We got green, so we're gonna deal with it. And there's onion. So instead of onion, I'm gonna try to substitute chive into there. And then we've got eggs, not from our farm, but from our buddy Matt, an install. His chickens actually made these, so still with the local theme. Here is a little bit of spice mix. So we've got cumin in there. We've got a little bit of black pepper. We've got smoked paprika. You can use regular paprika. I like smoked, a little more depth on that flavor. And we didn't grow any garlic, so I had to use some garlic powder and this as well. And then we've got our sea salt, and we've got our avocado oil right here to get into the nitty gritty. So I've got this about medium heat. We're gonna put our avocado oil in there, just enough to kind of cover maybe half the bottom. Give her a good little swirl in there. Won't get the oil away from the heat. And then the first thing I'm gonna do is add these green bell peppers. So we're gonna toss those in, right so. So we're just gonna saute these peppers just a little bit. Need something to rest that on. Gonna throw in just a little prelim salt here. Right on top. We're gonna get those a little soft. We're gonna give them a head start because peppers take a little longer to cook down compared to these two. So we're gonna give that a minute and then we'll come back. I'm gonna throw our chopped up eggplant in there. Traditionally, shakshuka doesn't have eggplant, but I feel like it kind of goes with the mix. And those tomatoes, you're just gonna cook down. So this might take a wee bit of time. Maybe say 15 minutes. I'm gonna put a lid on it just to really start to simmer those tomatoes and eggplant down. Let it heat back up. We're gonna add our spices onto there. And a little bit of salt. And by a little bit, I mean a generous amount. Crush that up by hand. Real rustica. After we add that salt, I'm just gonna rip by hand. And keep with the rustica theme. Doesn't have to be perfect, right? Just kind of cooking for the fame, not the gram. So fill that up. I'm sure my fingernails will smell like onion for the next 2 weeks. I'm okay with paying that price, right? Get our onion flavor in there. We got a ton of this stuff, so we are going to use it. Chive, super easy to grow. It'll stir up in there, nice. Already kind of breaking down, and that cumin is coming through. Smells pretty good. So while we let this simmer and kind of just turn into delicious mush, we are going to get started on our dressing / sauce. I don't know what's really in Green Goddess. Should probably look it up. But it's gonna be green and it's gonna be delicious. I started making this as kind of just like a sauce for salmon, and then it just spiraled out of control from there. So the base of it is cocoa june, just the normal unflavored. I'm dairy free. Sorry about it, judge me. I love dairy. Dairy doesn't love me, but honestly, if I could eat dairy, I'd still use this cocoa june stuff. It kind of tastes like sour cream, but I literally use it for the base of every creamy sauce. It's dessert. It could be a snack, a little bit of everything. So 1 cup of cocoa june and like so. And then we are going to break off some of these chives. First, we're not going to break it. That's what the blender is going to do. But just a handful of chives right here. Definitely want more chives than most of the other herbs. Don't want too chivey, so I'll stay on my breath for like, I don't know, 7 years. And then we're going to take some of this parsley up in here, stalks included. We do not discriminate against stalks. Just a little bit of basil. We're using all of it today. Nothing too crazy right there. And then some dill, because honestly, I love dill with salmon. It's one of my favorite protein herb combos. Always fresh, summer, winter, fall. Doesn't matter to me. I'll eat it. Also love dill. All right, a little bit of salt in there too. Cocoa june doesn't have any salt in it. It's literally, what is it? Just coconuts, water, a little tapioca probably to thicken it, and then some probiotic cultures, because gut health is wealth. And then we're going to take this lemon, like so, and squeeze it in there. Don't have time to pick out the seeds, and I don't want to dirty up. Just gonna do the hand strainer. Woo. Right there. All right, so now we got lemon and chive underneath our fingernails. Probably gonna make tons of friends this week. I'm not alone. So yeah, throw the top on this. I love this food blender. It's called the Beast, and it's called the Beast for a reason. It was gifted to me, and I believe they got it at Costco. Smoothies, sauces, soups, whatever. It'll blend it down. Easy to clean. Do a quick rip. All right, should be pretty much pulverized by now. And crack that puppy open. Take a peek inside there. Got this beautiful green sauce. We'll taste test. Really good. Nice and light, nice and citrusy, even though we used the cocoa gin. That is delicious with some lettuce. Throw anything on top of it. Throw the sauce inside the sauce, and you're cooking. We're going to close that puppy up. Lost some. Put it in the fridge. Let it kind of thicken back up. Let all those flavors mend together. All right, now that we got that in the fridge, it is time to crack this lid open and see what we've got going on in here. Wow, that is looking legit. Take a peek into this. Hey, look at that. Everything's coming together. Got that nice deep red color in there. See some of the eggplant. Kind of like the green peppers in there for a little bit of color, change things up. All right, so that looks pretty good. What we're gonna do is start to make, say, little wells. Those wells will kind of just keep the eggs in place, give them a nice home, and then get them a little closer to that heat. All right, so moment of truth here. I've been the part I've been dreading. You can take some of Matt's homegrown eggs, like so. If you get us a shell in this, you're screwed. All right, crack it open, drop it into the well. Not too bad. I don't have anywhere to put this. Oops. Good. One down. Couple more to go. Three. Try to squeeze in number 4 here. A little tight. Gross. Crack that open. Boom. Right into your home. Alright. Last one. Come on. Work with me. Well. Right there. Boom. So we're gonna put the lid on there. They say anywhere between 5 to 8 minutes. I'm feeling probably closer to 8, 9. Okay, little clean reset. We're gonna change speeds here. We are going to cook up this beautiful piece of wild-caught sockeye salmon. Please don't need farm-raised. That's not fish. This is what your salmon should look like. We are going to get our avocado oil on there. Do the little water test, beat it up perfectly. The key is hot pan, cold oil, right? So I don't want that oil sitting there too long. You don't want it burnt and all weird tasting. We're gonna go pretty heavy on the salt. I keep flavoring on fish pretty simple. Salt, pepper, that's it. If you're doing something else, probably doing too much. Let the flavor speak for itself. All right, so even coating oil there. Seems like the perfect temp. This thing is awesome. Always wanted one. This was the excuse I needed to get one. Don't worry, I washed my hands. I'm gonna wash it again. We're gonna go skin down. You got a nice crisp on there. Dangerous. And piece number 2. Obviously, I have more, but limited size pan. Wash my hands. GG say, watch food never cooks. That is so true. I feel like I've been staring at this salmon for 5 weeks and it's been 5-ish minutes. But we'll test it, see if it's, yep, that's ready to come off. And then underneath that, take your time when you're flipping fish, especially with oil, but the slower you go, the better it'll turn out. I personally love crispy salmon skin. I know there's probably 2 different, very different schools of thought when it comes to that, but the crunch, so good. All right, so we're gonna let that cook around like 2 minutes, and then we're just gonna let it sit. Below that, people, anytime you cook fish, chicken, steak, pork, any kind of protein meat, let it sit. If you cut it open too fast, juices gone, right? All those juices you see leaking on the plate, you want to show your friends on Instagram, could have been in the steak when you eat it. So now it's dry. So let it sit. I like to finish off with a little bit of olive oil, maybe some more salt, depending on who your crowd is. A little lemon, and then don't touch it until it's ready to eat. So speaking of, we're gonna let those get ready to eat, and we will move on to green beans. All right, fish is resting. Now we are going to move on to the green beans, okay? We're gonna put butter in this pan. This butter, earth balance, pretty good flavor. Don't recommend it because it's vegetable oil, palm oil, all of that oils, but we're living today, so we're gonna use this. Now, vegetable oil, all the other oils do not have the same smoke point as avocado oil, so we're gonna turn this down. Dangerous. Like so. All right, we're gonna scoop that into there like so. As I'm using my finger, be clean. A little bit of avocado oil right there. And last but not least, we're gonna use the sage. Gonna drop it in the butter like so. All right, turn it down a little more. We just want that butter to turn color, right? It should be a little darker brown. Let's go full sage effect. We're hyping this up. We gotta use it, all right? And then gonna push the sage leaves around there, pick up some of the salmon goodness. Oh, that sage hit you in the face. That is good. All right. Now it smells clean in here. Time to add these puppies. I might have to do half at a time because we got a bunch. Just like so. Okay. A little bit of salt. A little bit of pepper. Give it a stir. While we wait for these to cook down just a little more, we are going to chop up some of these little baby carrots, toss it into our delicious bowl of lettuce, and then I'm just gonna add the dressing on last. I don't like soggy salad. I like crunch in my salad, which is why we're using some of these carrots. I think these green beans are looking just about done where we want them to be. Yes, they are. All right, so we're gonna turn those off. With the grate, I recommend if you're running out of stove space, you get one of these puppies. I'm going to grab the dressing, and then we are going to plate and eat. We're going to take our lettuce, add it in like so. Boom, nothing crazy, right? Got a little bit of this up on here. By a little bit, I mean a lot of it. Delish. Give this a little bit of tossing right there. Bing bamboo. And grab a piece of fish right there. Into the green bean right there. A little more of this. There we have it. We have our family style shakshuka. I feel like if you're gonna eat shakshuka, it's gotta come in like a cool pan, cast iron. That's what we had. I might try it with cast iron. All they say, don't use acid on cast iron, whatever. Life's short. And then we have our salmon on top of our green goddess salad and our sage green beans. I'm actually looking forward to those sage green beans, but we're gonna start with the shakshuka. Obviously, can't eat it without my naan. So we're gonna get in to there. Whoops. Get up in there. Probably a 8, 7 out of 10. Not because of the vegetables. Eggplant, good. Tomatoes, fresh. Little snap in those bell peppers still, which is great. Eggs, a little overcooked, so that's my introduction. Probably could have added more salt, a little more cumin, did about 2.5 tablespoons. Maybe double that. Maybe a little more paprika if you're feeling adventurous. But as far as stretching and getting most value out of the eggplant and the tomato, I feel like this was definitely the way to go. And having none doesn't hurt either. So we're gonna hop into salmon. We'll start with the salad itself. It's still crunchy, which is awesome. Good amount of dressing on there too. Red sauce is unmatched. Like, literally put it on everything and it will taste delicious. It's just simple herbs, a little cocoa juice, a little lemon juice, but it goes such a far way. And into that salmon, nice, easy, flaky. Really good, once again with that sauce. Didn't grow it, so not too many comments on that. Now to this sage green bean from Moment of Truth. Give it a shot. What's a green bean flavor like I've never had before? That's interesting. Really good. Interesting. I don't know how to describe it. Might be the sage in there. Getting a good amount of like floral. Doesn't taste soapy if you're worried about it. Kind of tastes like the holidays, honestly. That's so good. Green beans. I'm gonna give those probably a 9.1. I mean, salad 10 out of 10 because that dressing is 11 out of 10. Salmon, same thing. So overall, not bad, right? We started from literally nothing. We dug in the post. We created the vegetable garden. We built those boxes. We learned all about the soil, learned about some of the techniques in growing some of these fruits and veggies. Got some help with arbor, fed, watered, checked, fed, watered, checked, fed, watered multiple times. Protected it from the deer. By the way, not a single deer in sight. Well, they're around. They didn't touch it. I even left it open the last 2 days. Let them, get a little nibble if they wanted. They didn't come close. So that deer fence was plenty. As long as you're, keeping something in between them and your produce, kind of makes me want to do season 2. Stay tuned.